Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Hello, friends, ladies and gentlefish. Down here, this is slightly. Hey. How are we all doing? I hope you are all well and happy. It's lovely to have you all here. So, we are back. We're doing our usual Wednesday art streams. So, that's where we're at today. We have been working on, or I have been working on, this lovely sexy mushroom. So let's just... We started out with something like this, and then added in a little bit of shadow and shading to it. We're going to try and pretty this up as much as possible, and possibly stick a background in this streamy session. And then I don't know what we're going to do after that. I have these other ideas over here for things. So these are some other poses that I was thinking about. So we've got two lovely mushroom lads here, and then we've got this one, another like a morel type mushroom man. Then we have a sort of cute lady mushroom that I was going to do the sort of netting, the mushroom netting at the top there, and then the last one was like a mushroom cap, a standard white cap. So those were sort of the ideas, 4 ideas that we had, and we're going to continue working on this one in the meantime. I am unsure what we're going to be talking about today, so strap yourselves in. Could go anywhere. Always a worry. If I don't have a plan, then it tends to go awry. Lizzie Bella's in the background there. She is getting ready for work.
Hello!
So we won't have her for very long, unfortunately. Nope. But that's alright. We're gonna press on. Let's see. Yeah, there should be. No, there weren't. Alright, so we're just fixing up some of this color and detail. We're back to our usual playlist, our usual ridiculous electro swing playlist. So if you'd like to hear anything in particular, do let me know. So we're just sort of softening these edges a little. And then we're going to go and put in some much greater detail to it. I'm very tempted to have our Ship of Theseus philosophy stream today, but I think we need a few more people in chat before we attempt that one. Hmm? I mean, I could have Cog for that. I'm pretty sure Cog's in the chat at the moment.
Oh, hey Cog.
He's just not made himself known yet. I'm pretty sure I saw his name in the Who's Watching list, the Who's Who, amongst all those bots. So in coronavirus news, we got up to 35,000 new cases today, which for some places is not an excessive amount, but for us, that's the highest our country has had.
And it's a jump by over 10,000 from our last highest.
Yeah, it's a significant jump, more than 10,000 from the last highest case day we had, which wasn't that long ago. And yeah, we're all a little concerned about it. So we're
I mean, we're all an exaggeration. Our government doesn't
yeah,
care.
that's true. Our government doesn't give a shit at the moment. They're fucking about like a bunch of monkeys, and a lot of the people in our area specifically don't seem to really give a shit. So that's an interesting one. If you come here to my stream to get away from the COVID news, you might want to tell me. or distract me so that I don't keep harping on about it. But yeah, so we had that as an issue. Then we had our Prime Minister basically saying that he would organise free rapid antigen tests for us, rat tests. And then immediately backtrack on that, and now he's decided that that's not going to be the case, except in very specific circumstances, most of which would benefit him and his corporate buddies. So that's fun. Apparently there was a woman who was accosted by police, and they demanded to see what was in her coffee cup to see if she was actually supposed to be where she was supposed to be. Which is weird, because, you know, lockdown... That might have been a while ago, but I only just saw it recently. Because lockdowns have lessened here. Not all over Australia, but most of Australia's come out of its lockdowns now. Ironic song to come on now. So we're just softening in and blending these edges just a little. And the idea is we'll come back in and put in some finer detail in here. This was just sort of a rough sketch that I did. Hello. Goodbye. The best. Goodbye. Drive safe.
Well. Just so your stream's aware, this is my second shift today. And I'm doing a night shift for it.
She's working too hard. So, 2 of the nursing homes in the area?
Yep, as far as I'm aware.
Have cases of COVID. And
Staff, at least.
in their staff, and that means that their staff can't work there, obviously, because it's a nursing home, and they'd fucking kill their residents. So
all of the staff that do work at those nursing homes are not allowed to come to other nursing homes.
yeah, they're not allowed to work at the other nursing homes that most of them work at, because Australia is pretty big on the whole casual work thing.
Nursing homes in particular love part-time, permanent part-time.
Yeah, part-time workers. And so that means that quite a few of them work at multiple residents, and when they do, we get situations like this where they legally aren't allowed to come to work because they'll fucking kill someone. And so the whole place ends up being short of workers, and so my lovely wife has to go in twice in one day.
I mean, to be fair, I only worked for like
You worked
4 hours this morning.
You worked a few.
4 hours. I left at around 10:30.
Yeah, but 4 hours is not insignificant.
No, it's not. I'm not saying it is.
Okay, so,
I would have liked to have worked.
so she's working hard. Can I get love? I shall. See you in the morrow, my love. What I want is, where is my toolbox? Navigation, there we go. And we want navigation to sort of be its own. I don't think it will let me do that. Anyway, I would. Can I pop it out here? No, you guys can't see it when it's out here. Okay, let's put it down there then. I would just like you to be able to see the whole image, basically. Oh, there we go. We can do that. And then move this down slightly. Is that better? That's better. Hey. Yeah. So my reasoning there is so that you guys can see the whole image, and also the color that we've got chosen up the top here. So this is the color we're currently using. I've basically just been mapping using the select tool here, because I, need to map two colors, obviously, but also I want you guys to see what's happening, know what's up. If you have any questions about what it is I'm doing, the tools I'm using, and how all of this works, please do let me know. I am an art teacher. I have specifically studied digital art and design. I'm not the best at it. It's been a fairly significant time since I've put the work in myself to make solid digital works. I've mainly just been playing around and experimenting recently, because most of my work is traditional. But I do teach digital art at a high school level for teenagers. So there is some skill level there in terms of knowledge base, stuff like that. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more on how all this works, please do let me know, and we can organize a little teaching stream. I am absolutely monopolizing on the pin-up lewd side of this. So this is, I'll zoom out because I don't know if people are aware of what we're doing at the moment. We're working on this sexy mushroom, and we're gonna be doing a whole bunch more. We've got a few. Oh, I don't have my layers. There we go. We've got a few more plans. So there's one of like 2 figures there. We've got this one, which is like a morel type mushroom. We've got this one, which is going to be one of the lace caps. And then we've got like a button mushroom plan. So those are the plans for my other ones. And then I'm working on finishing off this one at the moment. And then what we're going to do is change the color of the cap, essentially. So we're going to do a series of these same figures. Too close. So let's go back to, there we go, navigation, so you guys can see down in the bottom corner what's perhaps what's going on. I am currently just using a standard like airbrush type brush in this. So my hardness is around 50%, it's 58 at the moment. My opacity is down to about 36, and I'm working on the exact same layer that all of this color is placed into. We do have our shadow layer over the top, which is what all of this sort of darker patch all in here is. I can turn that off so you can see for a second. So that's the difference. But what we're trying to do at the moment is clean up some of these hard edges and feather everything back a little, because I was doing this sort of as a practice run, and then it turned into something that I actually liked, which does happen a fair bit. And so I thought at that point I should probably just work on this a little bit more and clean it up rather than starting again from scratch to try and replicate this exact same thing. Apologies, because that was originally the plan. I was going to do the whole thing on stream, start to finish. But I don't think that's necessary, given that the sort of the draft run, which is what this is supposed to be, turned out pretty well. So we're just gonna blend some of these lines back, and then we're gonna go in and refine everything and make it a little bit nicer. We are still sort of chopping at the moment, so that's taking our unrefined sketch and taking sections off. These are all terms from when I was learning, so if you are yourself a digital artist and you don't recognize some of these terms, don't be surprised. I learned in Australia well back in the day. But basically I started with a pretty wide brush. As you can see, there's a lot of overhang of extra color here that doesn't actually need to be here, any extra detail and stuff that doesn't need to be here, so we're just cutting some of that line back to get a more refined image. Ooh, that was a bit too much. There we go. And we'll clean it up to make it look a little prettier. So that's sort of the plan at the moment. If people, you know, don't want to see that or want to see something in particular, do let me know. We can get started on doing one of the other ones from scratch, so that you can see a little bit more of the process. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep working through this one. Feel free to sound off in the chat if you have anything that you particularly burningly want to talk about. So on my old Wacom tablet, I'm using a Wacom. I think that's what it's called. I don't know how you specifically pronounce it, but that's how I've always pronounced it. So there's that. But yeah, on my old one that I had ages ago, it had this really nice radial die function, which was like you held down for 2 seconds or whatever, and it came up, or you selected one of the buttons, basically to pull up this radial menu, and the menu had like a customizable set of things in it. But specifically for like Photoshop and GIMP, which is what I'm using, and other image editing programs, it had the ability to like set your toolbox in there, so you could put in like the things you use the most in there. So you could put a couple of the transform tools, you could put a couple of the like brushes that you use, like specific brushes, and then like the eraser, and I don't know, the zoom function or the stamp tool or whatever, or your palette. And so you'd do the radial menu, and then you'd click on the thing, and it'd instantly come up. And I really miss being able to do that, because it meant you really didn't have to move far from exactly where you were to get all your tools working. At the moment, I'm having to like move all the way up the top here, find the tool, then come back down here. And it's all like a little, just a little too messy. But I haven't spent a whole lot of time with this tablet. This tablet is Lizzie Bell's tablet. So technically I've nicked it off her momentarily. I think we want to clean up in there, and then we're going to come back in and go even more refined into here. But let's start up here. We've got some cleaning up we could do in here. I don't want to I don't want to ruin this stuff too much, because I do actually like I like how this this kind of striated texture works. But I would like to refine it down just a little bit. I like the sort of these set of rough lines, but I would like to soften it just slightly, because I think it could benefit from that. And then I'll have to go in and put some more sort of detail into it later on. But for now, it's not looking too bad. Like this down here, could do with just cleaning up some of these sort of blobby, because I just did them with a wide brush from sort of the global image. And this is I believe we're working off an A5 size canvas. The next lot we will be working on are all A5 size canvases. So they're pretty big, not huge, but fairly big, and they got a pretty good pixel density. So the resolution is pretty nice. But that means we can get a lot of detail into this, and we probably should, because we're going to try and turn some of these into prints if they turn out to be good enough, which I'm expecting them to. Oh, sorry. We had a Mexican bowl for, well, I had tacos, and Lizzie Bell had a Mexican bowl. She's starting, ironically, on a Mediterranean diet, and so our solution to that was Mexican, clearly, because that makes perfect sense. But we were going with something that was like something we could both have that was very high in vegetables, with like a decent amount of good fats in it. So very veg heavy, very avocado. Hers was vegetarian. It would have been vegan, except I used butter. I used actual butter for part of the mix. Most of the oil was veg oil, olive oil, and grapeseed. But yeah, it wasn't fully vegan, which is fine. She's not herself a vegan. She used to be once upon a time, but not anymore. It's just too hard to be vegan out where we live, unfortunately, because we live in a former abattoir town. So meat and meat eating is a pretty big deal out here. A lot of farmers still out this way. A lot of butchers. We have 3, I think, in our town, like our direct town, and it's a pretty small town. The other thing we have an overabundance of is churches, which is fascinating to me, but it does sort of say something about the community. That rather than having like actually important things like businesses and you know, proper healthcare centers other than the hospital and things like that. We instead have 9 churches of varying different denominations. Because this is apparently the church town in our local area. People who are new to the channel, I have nothing against religion. In fact, I'm fascinated by it. I'm a religion teacher. I teach, my 2 subject areas are art and religion. Those are my trained areas. I do also teach basically everything else, but I'm just not as good at it. Whereas art and religion are my jam. I wish I knew more about religion, honestly. It is my intent to study more and find out more. But at the moment, I have a decent working knowledge of various faiths, major faiths. But yeah, I find it fascinating that rather than go with other industry or other anything, like rather than having, you know, shops in those locations or having I mean, I guess they're community centers of a sort, but like you could have put anything in those locations, and they're the biggest. They're some of the biggest buildings in town. The only bigger building, I think, is there is an industrial complex a little ways out of town that's bigger, and then the town hall. Oh, and the shopping center. But the shopping center is like, you know, 3 or 4 different actual buildings within itself. We do have a shopping center, if you can call it that. Get lots of vubs. Let's put this down here so it doesn't vub you, vub your microphones too much. Vub my microphone, I guess. And fill out your ears. Hey, Nancy, how you going? How you been? Yeah, it has been a little while. Hope you are well. Hope you're doing good. So we're still working through just cleaning this up a little before we go in and start putting in our hyper detail. If anybody wants to see us work on anything else, do let us know, because this stream is about what you guys want to see, not necessarily what I'm, you know, always going to be working on. There's obviously going to be some stuff that I have to work on, and so that takes precedent. But at the moment, this is sort of just for fun stuff. So if you're not feeling it, do let us know, and we can swap out to something else. But I'm enjoying this one. I think this one looks pretty good. So how you going? What have you been working on? Anything interesting? What you been up to? We are out of the Christmas period now, so we're back to using our copyright safe music. I think we might have a redemption, a channel point redemption that's like play decent music, and that'll put back on the good playlist, the fun playlist. But I won't be able to upload things on YouTube once that happens. So college life is hard. Back at college already. Yeah, college life is hard. It's tough. I need to have like a spreadsheet of all my regular viewers, my people who regularly turn up, because like my memory is fucking terrible, and I never remember like who does what. Your roommate kicks you in the face all day. I think that counts as assault. You could probably have them arrested. It hurt. Oh. That sucks, Nancy. Did you do something to provoke them? This is not blaming you, I'm just asking. Was there some provocation or altercation prior to that led to this situation, or are they just randomly violent out of nowhere? Because I would absolutely believe that. I've when I was at university, that there was quite a few like that who were just violent for no fucking reason. You've informed your principal. Very good, very good. That is important. And oh, I was expelled from the school. Awesome. That's the news we want to hear. Yeah, there's nothing worse than someone who's an arsehole and gets away with it. Really can make your blood boil. Alright. She's looking pretty good. Boss of a gangster. Interesting. So he ran a gang out of the school, or he had a gang elsewhere. Because that would be dangerous if you got him expelled and he's a bit of a dangerous man about town. Might want to keep your eye on your back. Geez, sounds like you've had a rough one. Not sure how we fix that for you, unfortunately. But good luck. You're so weak. I'm sure you're not that weak. I'm sure you could defend yourself if it came to it. But ideally you wouldn't have to. Have you studied any martial arts? Can we get you, like, karate kitted up with a Mr. Miyagi? Or we'll get WITSEC for you. We'll get you in a witness protection program. Ship you out to another country with a new name. That'd go alright, I reckon. Because his parents are very, very rich. You repeat, very rich. Huge fortune. He's got a mission. Well, that's no good. Can you go into hiding? Can you become a monk somewhere? Just change your name, join a monastery. And you're very sad because one of your friends has leukemia and he's an orphan. That's awful. That sucks. We had a friend in high school. I guess friend is probably a strong word, but one of the guys that we were friendly with ended up with leukemia at the school I went to. And that was really sad. Like, that whole situation sucked. And they didn't make it. Jeez. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you are doing okay. Yeah, those situations are always really rough because it's like there's not a lot that you can personally do other than support them and be there for them. But you feel like you should be doing more, and so it's that difficult sort of double-edged sword of looking after yourself but trying to look after them and trying to, you know, help provide support to the family. Sort of as much as you possibly can, because there's only so much that, you know, one individual person can do. Especially if, you know, you're currently in college, so you don't have a whole lot of money to work with, which is a difficult thing in and of itself. Yeah, that sucks. Make sure you're looking after yourself, because that can be a tough one. Having a friend pass. You need to make sure that you are practicing self-care, because self-care is important. Do I know how to cure depression? Self-care, for one. Make sure you are looking after yourself. Make sure you are eating enough, drinking enough. Make sure you are taking rests if you need to take rests. Beyond that, therapy is good. Seeing a therapist or a psychotherapist, seeing someone who can, if it's a long-running thing, if it's not like situational sadness, because there's sort of difference between depression and like sadness, situational sadness. Depression is when you have like a chemical imbalance that actually causes you to be sad when there's sort of no reason to be, or it exacerbates sadnesses that shouldn't be as bad as they are. Double self-care. Whereas a situational sadness is where you have a good reason to be upset, and so you're upset about that thing. It can be overwhelming, or it can sort of join up with your depression to make it much, much worse. So you know, situational sadness is not something to be, you know, scoffed at and sort of think, well, you know, you're not actually depressed, so it doesn't matter. But there is a difference between actual depression, like clinical depression, and just being sad because something is sad, because you're grieving. So if you felt this way prior to all of these terrible things happening, then that's depression, and you should probably see a therapist or see a doctor to get them to look at your like chemical balance in your brain and things like that, and make sure that, you know, you're getting enough of the right kinds of foods in your diet and things like that. Like, make sure that you're getting all the things that you need for your body to sort of continue its processes correctly. If it's not, and it's only based on the situations, if you're actually grieving, then you need to go through that grieving process. You need to feel sad for a while. And you need to talk it out with people, and you need to, you know, obviously you should be getting support, people should be helping you out. But you need to feel the feelings. You need to make sure that, you know, you are letting that grieving process go, because if you feel sad because someone's gone, you're supposed to feel sad because they're gone. That's sort of how that works. We tried, but it makes your brother worse. He keeps screaming at night and you don't know why. Looks like you did something wrong in your previous life. Well, some religions would say yes. I would think most religions would probably say no about that. Karma's a tricky one. In terms of helping your brother out, yeah, therapy and the right sort of drugs are important, but getting those drugs is difficult, because not every drug works for every person. So usually you'd get put on an SSRI, which is a hormone and brain chemistry altering drug. And the whole idea behind that is that your brain chemistry is out of whack, that your hormones are out of whack, and so you need something to augment their function, to make them function in the correct ways. But finding which SSRI or which drug is the correct one is what's difficult. It can take years to get the right one, and the wrong one can make it worse in the meantime. So it's difficult. You sure it's okay because your parents took her to the hospital for treatment? Her. Which... I'm confused now. Is this the friend with leukemia? Didn't you say they passed away? I'm having trouble keeping track here. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff going on. But that does happen. Yeah. Things happen in groups. There's usually a few terrible incidences at once. It's very rare that you have discrete, independent terriblenesses. Usually it's one amongst many. But yeah, let's talk funny for more fun. Okay. That's a good idea. What funny things should we talk about? This is always the thing, you get put on the spot because someone's like, oh, let's change the subject to something fun. And then you've got to think up a fun subject, and none of them... Do I know VTubers? I am aware of VTubing as a thing, as like the, you know, you have a digital avatar that sort of does things mapped to yourself. I haven't watched many of them. I think I've watched like 2 or 3. With any like I think I follow like 3. But I haven't really watched a whole bunch of them. Some of them are good. I think as with anything, like the type of content they put out is sort of more important than how they put it out, if that makes sense. So the fact that they're a VTuber is slightly less important than what it is they actually do afterwards. So like, do they play interesting games? Do they make interesting art? You want to be a VTuber, but you don't have much drawing talent. Fair. You don't have to draw to be a VTuber. You could play games as a VTuber. You could do all sorts of things. And there are programs that basically do the digital thing for you, that construct the digital avatar. And animate it so that you don't have to do any of the work on that. So if you wanted to do that, you absolutely should. It wouldn't be too difficult for you to do, I think. I considered at one point doing the VTuber thing, like not showing my face and instead having a digital avatar. You can hire artists. You can absolutely hire an artist to do it for you. If you wanted to, and you had the money, I would say absolutely do that. Because that's the better option, really. Having a custom avatar is always going to be better than not. And then also, like helping to support fellow artists is always much better than, you know, just paying a company that makes, you know, that cranks out 5 or 6, you know, different avatar bodies and avatar heads and just sticks them together and, you know, you're good to go. But if you wanted to, you can sort of get started pretty easily. There's a few different. I think I have one saved on here that I was looking at. Vroid Studio. Let's just open this one up and make sure it's the right one. I've never used this, so I don't know if it's actually any good. That is the link to it. I can't guarantee that it's any good. But one of the VTuber people that I was watching was like, oh yeah, I used this thing, and it was really easy. And I was like, okay, cool. So I don't know what that says about it, if it's actually any good or not, but that is a thing that you can go and check out if you want to. Yes, to make well, there's some sort of 2D models and then some 3D models, but the idea is that they move. So as you sort of look left and right, they'll move with your head left and right. At least that's sort of the idea of them. That's what they're supposed to do. You think you're more adapted to 2D? Yeah. I don't know how many 2D based programs there are. That would be much easier to get someone to make. So you could probably get that made for cheaper if you wanted to. Because there'd be a whole bunch of people who would happily make like a couple of custom animated 2D models, like faces. Because that's not too difficult. And then just have them be animated in various different ways. The programming to make it map to your face would be the more difficult thing, I think, if you wanted it to do that. Obviously, you don't have to. But the idea being that... the idea with it being that, like, if you opened your mouth, it would open its mouth. If you sort of turn to look in a direction, the character sort of changes their action or whatever. Getting that to work is a level of programming that I don't have experience with, unfortunately. I could do the animation, but I can't do the rest of it. So that's something you'd have to get someone else to do. You can use an app called Live 2D to move the character. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. You're all set up. Just find the 2D avatar or a couple of assets that you want to work from, and then work from there. Or contact an artist who will do that work for you. Because there are a lot of artists on Twitch who would happily do that. I think I have buggered up this hand a little. I think I overdid. Let's just take this back a little. There. Don't want to take too much off it. But yeah, that's cool. So there is our Discord, ladies and gentlemen. There is also my Instagram if you want to check out previous art that I have worked on, the kind of art that I make. Most of it on there is, I believe all of it at the moment is traditional art. I'll be putting some more. I'll definitely be putting some more digital art up there eventually. But for now, it's all traditional stuff. So, what sort of content, Nancy, are you planning on making? Are you gonna do art stuff? Are you gonna do gaming? Are you gonna do chatting streams? Are you gonna do like lewd VTuber stuff? Ask away. I'm always happy to have questions on the channel. How old am I? I am 32 now. I will be 32 this year. Nope, 33 this year. God, I'm old. Getting up there in the years. Just a reminder before you say how old you are. Caution. Just a little reminder, this is an 18 plus channel. So if you are not 18, you might want to not tell me that. Because I'm supposed to not let you be here. But yeah, I'm early 30s. A little old, not that old. Is there any particular reason for the question? Do I not strike you as someone 30 years old? College is 19 to 21. University usually is well, you can get into it at any age if you at least that's how it works in Australia. But yeah, higher education is you reasonably would have to be like 18 or above, so that's usually fine. But I have known some people who are under that age managed to get in. You're in college, so 18. Yeah, cool. You can say what age you are. It's just if you're under 18, then at that point I have to do something about it because of the way Twitch's terms of service work. It's a weird old world out there. Am I American? No, I am Australian. So I live in Australia, which I very much enjoy. I'm a fan of Australia. I think, you know, like any country, it has its problems, but Australia has significantly fewer of them than quite a lot of other places. So I like it here. You're Vietnamese, so you're from Vietnam? Not too far away then. Your mother is Vietnamese and your father is Australian. Hey, hey. Very nice. I mean, I hope it's very nice. Not all Australians are nice people, so... Could be that your dad was an arsehole, but I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hope that that an Australian abroad was doing the right thing and being nice, but having known Australians and myself having been an Australian traveling overseas, I know we are not the nicest people to be around at times, especially because we drink so much. Accidental. As in it was an accidental thing. That makes sense. I'm assuming then that this Australian was a tourist and didn't hang around. If so, apologies. We're gonna try and get all the foot simps in here with these beautifully crafted feet. If I don't end up with 100 subscriptions because of my feet pics, then I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm an idiot sometimes. I've never understood the foot thing. I'll be honest. If anybody in the chat knows a foot fetishist, or are themselves a foot fetishist, and can explain to me the appeal of feet, can I say, oh my god, can believe it, but make it funny? I can try. Oh my god, can't believe it. Was that good enough? Bugger. Yeah, I have no idea about the foot thing. I have met some people in the past who have been into feet as a thing. But it's just not a thing that ever really like did it for me. And a partner of mine, way back in the day, decided. Apparently, she had met someone with a foot fetish and assumed that everybody else. You'll unlock one icon. Right. I have no idea what that means. Hey. Yeah, so she apparently had met a guy, previously dated a guy who was into that. Or her friend, a former friend, had been really into it or something, I don't know. And so she assumed that all guys were into it, and so started attempting to engage me with her feet, sexually. And I was very confused by the situation. I did not quite understand why we were doing that. Because at first I went along with it because I thought it's what she wanted to do. And I was like, I don't think this is actually doing it for either of us. But she was fairly insistent. And so we did it, and I was like, nah, I'm not like as much of a fan. Like, it was okay. It was stimulation of sorts. But I didn't specifically enjoy But I didn't specifically enjoy it. At least the feet added no extra benefit. It was literally just that, you know, she was touching me and that was nice. So I was confused by the whole thing. And since then, I've tried to talk to a few people to, like, find out, like, specifically what it is. But since then, I've not found anybody who like, actually, legitimately is into it. There's a few people I know who are into it for the meme, but they're not specifically into it. Do I know how to draw anime style? Yeah, kinda. I can do some anime. Let's quickly jump over here. We'll add a new layer, and we'll do some quick anime stuff. Why not? Why not? So we'd be like, my animeing is not nearly as good as some of my other arting is, but I can animu. I can do some of the anime type thing, and then we do like the cross draw thing. Anime. I mean, if I spent some more time on it and actually bothered to make it look, you know, half decent, we might do that another stream, I think. Because I do need to practice my my anime style stuff. Because there's definitely going to be people in future who want it, and I've had a couple of commissions in the past for anime style things. Turn the opacity down again. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I've definitely had people in the past be like, I want this anime character doing this thing. A Hastor anime artwork. Oh, yeah, I could probably do that. Hastor anime artworks are pretty close to just regular Hastor, though. Like, the thing about, like, dragon animals, and just animals in general, like furries in general and scalies and stuff, in anime, they're pretty close to just, like, how they actually are as monsters. It's the humans that tend to be pretty stylized. In the thing. Itchy boy. You have to go for your 3rd dose. Very good. Congratulations on getting your 3rd dose. Good luck. Watch out for the brain implants. I'm just joking. So yeah, have a good one, Nancy. We'll catch up later. So, Cog, now that you're here in the chat, tell us why you think that feet porn has become so prominent. What is it about the foot that drives a man wild? You've been here the whole time and just busy. I figured that was the case. I saw that you were watching. I saw that you were watching earlier. But yeah, serious question. So, what about a foot drives a man wild? You gotta know these things, right? Well, the foot are led by Shredder, and that's pretty hard. Love you some spicy alien ninja samurai. Hell yeah! That is the correct response. Oh, solid. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. That was some quality content back in the day. You couldn't go wrong with some Ninja Turtles. You loved the 2000 era of Turtles the best. Interesting, interesting. So what was 2000s era Turtles? Maybe we should watch 2000s era Turtles. Do I have? I don't. We're gonna swap over to art for half a second. Oh god, I'm upside down. What happened? Art showcase is what it's going to be. No, webpage. Okay, so back to digital art. Add in browser source. No. Display capture. No. Window capture. Webpage. There it is. Oh, that's not what we want it to be on. Go here. We want 2000s Ninja Turtles. Opening. So not this one, not the really old school one, but like pretty good, gotta say. Let's close that. There we go. Peak Turtles. I don't know if I preferred that or the originals, or at least the sort of the older series. Because I did really enjoy the original series as well. This series had a prequel series set in the same continuity called Turtles Fast Forward. Wasn't as good. Did have some interesting things and a fun art style. Okay, cool. Interesting. We should check out the breakfast edit so far when we finish streaming. For sure. I'll jump on and we'll have a look. Yeah, so clearly we don't have anybody to figure this one out. So I have a feeling we're gonna have to get our Mei Master to come in here and show us what it's all about with the feats. We'll get our parlor boy in here because he knows all about the Meis. He's hip with the kids. And he will be able to set the record straight on all this feat nonsense and how we can get in on the feat market. Because I'm pretty sure it's something like cryptocurrency. It's kind of like an Ethereum or a Bitcoin, but like feat picks are paying college tuition at the moment. So if we can get in on that market, I'd like to. I'd like to get us in, at the top end, and really make the most of these feat. Because, if all I have to do is draw sexy feet for the rest of my life, I can get good at that. I'm sure I can. I'm an idiot sometimes, but it's funny. Alright, let's have a look. You're not into feet, but they aren't freaky to you. You like legs and thighs. Don't laugh, and ankles. Buddy, you're into ankles. That's close enough. So tell us, what about an ankle does it for you? Yeah. Because I'm fascinated by that as an idea. I understand the thigh thing. And the legs as a whole. Like, feet included in legs makes sense to me. But feet on their own, or just ankles, doesn't make sense to me. You're gonna make a smoothie, and then you're gonna tell me all about why ankles are cool. Yes! Alright, I look forward to this. I'm currently eating Haribo gummy bears. Haribo, superior quality candy, for sure. Haribo, if you're out there and you want to sponsor me, please do. Alright, I think we're going to go in a little bit bigger. Do a bit more of this shutter stuff. Used to be your favorite gummy bears before veganism. Yeah. Or vegetarianism. Do they have... Yeah, they'd probably have gelatin in them, wouldn't they? Let's have a look. Glucose syrup, gelatin. Yeah. There we go. Mmm. We've got beeswax and everything. White and yellow beeswax. Oh. So tasty. That is way too dark. Layers. We're on the right layer. Yes. So we need to turn down the hardness and the opacity even more. So the idea is we're just adding some more shadow here. This is what it looks like without shadow. And this is with the shadow. So it is adding a fairly significant level of our definition in. And sort of the point behind this. Ooh, it's a little too much. There we go. Yeah, the point behind this is just to round out some of these areas that are a little too light, without having to go back in and mess with the values of the original image. But we want to make this a fairly well-defined image. High contrast. We're then going to put in... I should probably clean up this. That's too much. Back. Yeah. I need to clean up this section underneath the arm a little. And then we're going to go and put in a background. Because that makes sense to me. Yeah, for those of you watching who don't know, especially if you're watching on the... oh no, I don't know why, especially if you're watching on the VOD, but anybody who's watching on the VOD or in the chat at the moment who didn't know, gummy lollies and a lot of marshmallow-based lollies are not vegan or vegetarian because they contain gelatin. You can get certain versions that are made with agar-agar, which is... a plant-based alternative. Tends not to last as long, but it does a similar job. So if that's something you wanted to get for a friend who is of the vegan or vegetarian persuasion, now you know. I do really enjoy this playlist. I shouldn't enjoy it as much as I do, because like it's like churned out copyright-free music. Well, not copyright-free, but like low copyright. And so I use Epidemic Sounds, which is where all this stuff is coming from. It's a subscription service that allows you to play their music on your content, essentially. So you can put it on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or not Twitter, Twitch or whatever, and it will not. It won't go over the terms of service stuff, which is great. But because of that, a lot of the stuff is either like rip-offs of songs, those kind of like sound-alikes is a pretty big thing in the community. Things that sound like an original song, but are like just distinct enough that they don't ping the copyright. Or there's these ones which are like kind of airy-fairy. There's not much to them, but they're like sitting pretty close to a theme, and then they just churn out like 20 of the same song. And this is not at all to bash the artists who make these, because, without them I wouldn't have music for my content. Or at least I would, but it wouldn't be allowed to be played everywhere, and that would suck. And I pay money for it, so it's clearly not bad. But I feel myself being like drawn to it as a source of music in a way that I would not normally be entertained by this type of music this much. I do like swing, I like electro, I like classical, electro swing, stuff like that, jazz. But I don't know why this whole playlist just, it's really boppy. It makes me feel happy. And I think part of the reason why as well is that, because I've listened to it so many times now, because 2 hours worth of stream for, how long have I been streaming for now? 6 months? 5 months? So it's a while. So I'm pretty used to the songs by now. It makes me happy. Short hydration break. While I do a terrible thing and check my messages on Facebook. I'm currently in a Facebook argument with someone. So that is why I'm checking. Which is really bad. Don't get in Facebook arguments with people. It's not worth it, guys. Don't do it. Save yourselves. Only you can prevent forest fires. Alright, so we don't need our palette up here anymore. So let's get rid of that. Oh, no, wrong way. There we go. We are probably going to clean up some of this a little, but what we actually want to do first is go in here and clean up some of this. Much better. So that's sort of what the rest of working on this artwork is going to be before we do the background. Is going in hyper detail and fixing up tiny little things. But we have come significantly from the start of the stream, which I will... Let's save this. I'm going to save this as Mushroom Lass 2. So that we can try and history tool. Because I want to show you guys where we started with this. How do I do this on this? Something about music while you're AFK. Yes, I was basically just... Open the history box. Here's the history box. How far back does it go? Not far enough. Oh, base image. We can get back to the base image. Sexy mushrooms make the loins go boom. Yeah. So there's the base image. That's what we started with. And this is where we're at. So that's a pretty good development thus far. Actually, that's not right. It's even more than that. Let's go back to the... Because this is saved now as Mushroom Lass 2. If we open Mushroom Lass, it should have none of the changes in it. Where is Mushroom Lass? There's Mushy Lass. So there's the there's the current. I'm gonna zoom in slightly so you can see. So we've cleaned up a lot and softened all the edges, made everything significantly more detailed, made it a little bit more vibrant, made her a little curvier. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We've done very well. We're going to put in a background now, I think, is sort of the next step of the process. And we may or may not use the background in the end. But what we are going to do, and I will show off what this will look like. Chroma. So... we'll add a little bit of chroma to it, a little bit of a... Here we go. So we'll make her a little bit brighter. And then we're going to change color. Can you... Yeah, you guys can see that. So the plan is to make her lots of different funky colors. So we've got this lovely sort of red and yellow tan at the moment, and the plan is to make a series of these that are like different colors along this spectrum. I think we're probably going to leave the body as this sort of yellow tan color, but that might change. But what we do want to do is change the cap color. So I'm not sure if we can change just that. There is a color balance? No. There is a way to choose just the one color. Select primary color to adjust. So that's changing just the red. Yeah, we want to keep the yellow the same. Changing green doesn't do much. Changing the blue doesn't do much. Or cyan, I would say. Change the magenta, doesn't do much, so it's literally just the red, yeah. We want no overlap. We want just the red to change. So that's sort of the plan. We're gonna have to isolate so that it's just the cap changing. But we're gonna make this like. I think we'll probably do one that's animated. So like one that sort of slowly shifts between the different colors. I think that would be cool. And then we're also gonna have like different colored ones, potentially with different backgrounds, but we'll see how much effort we want to put into that. I'm not sure what we're going to do for backgrounds, so for now we'll just chuck something in. But I want to make it slightly more contrast. I want to add I would like to add some more contrast to this. Oh, my. There we go. Let's see how this does. If we just. And then I think the idea is like. We sort of boost around it, maybe. And then feather in our edge. Sort of vignette style. I don't know. I don't know actually what we're doing with this. I'm just sort of playing around with an idea. So we'll see how it goes. I want to get rid of that line. There we go. Let's make this huge and then just whop. Sorry, you were saying a thing. The music makes you feel like you're watching The Incredibles. Yeah, I could kind of see that. Like maybe a green wash down the bottom. Like we're sitting in a forest. And then maybe like brown background. The music from much earlier? Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, I don't know yet what my background's actually gonna be. But I think like playing around with some aspect of this like foresty look, I think would be interesting. Something like that. I don't mind that. So it's definitely shown us the areas we need to clean up here. Let's make this a bit smaller so we can get in there. quickly. Clean up that booty a little. Well, you always got to clean up your booty. Hear that, ladies and gentlemen out there? Always clean your booty. Never leave your booty dirty. Because you don't know what could happen. You could be invited all sorts of places to do all sorts of things, and if your booty's dirty, well, that's not the impression you want to make. Some poor, unsuspecting lad or lass. This has been an odd stream. Gotta say. Been a weird one. I don't dislike it, but like... it's been a bit odd. It's been a bit off the rails. I think it's because I'm drawing sexy mushrooms. I think that's what it is. I'm an odd duck. I am an odd duck. That is who I am. Glad that people like me being an odd duck, though. And obviously there would be people out there who don't, and that's fine. They don't need to watch my stream. But, you know, most of my friends and family quite like that I'm an odd duck. And that's good. I like that. I'd much rather just be myself and be an odd duck than fit in and conform to something else. Something that's not me. Alright, let's clean this up a little. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Turn the opacity way down. Undefined at New World Artist. Hello, if you need real and free high quality service to increase your viewers, click streamdetails.com. Top streamers already use it. Well, do they just? Fucking bam. Take that, buddy. Where were we? Seemed legit to you? Hey, it seemed legit to me. I didn't want them to contact me on the stream, like while the stream was live, because then if my rivals were watching, they would know my secrets as well. So like they need to PM me. They need to like get in my DMs, not all up in my stream biz. Because how am I supposed to get ahead of the competitors? Get ahead of all them haters? If they know my secret too. They need to think about these things. Alright, she's looking pretty good. How long have we been streaming for? 2 hours. You just found out that Epidemic has sound effects. Epidemic has sound effects? Jesus. I need to now, like, get 1 billion sound effects. Yeah, scare and sleaze for them, yeah. Now I need 1 billion sound effects. This is gonna make my stream significantly better. For sure. For shiz. There's a part of the boob here that needs some fixing up. There we go. Just a little too dark. There we go. I really like this. I really like the mushroom bit. Like I like the lady. The lady looks really good, and I like some of the detailing of this, like, curves, the curviness, that booty, and the legs, and obviously you like a good breast, but this mushroom cap, fucking hell, I'm good. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Now I could obsess over this and make it, like, even more fucking detailed. Go in and, like, hyper, like, do one of these and just, like, each little fucking line. Which, because I'm a sadist, I might actually do. Maybe sadist? Sadist to myself? Masochist? What's the right word here? I think I was right the first time. Oh. I think all of this needs to be slightly more vibrant, though. At least this layer. Turn up the chroma slightly. Maybe turn down the lightness a touch. Oh, that's a little better. I like that. The red that I've put in here is getting a little much, though, is the only problem there. But we can tone that down. But I think the cap needs it. I think the cap needs the more vibrant color. But I'm really liking this. Yeah. Looking good. I'm gonna go back one. Just see. Yeah, no, that's much better. I will have to go in and clean up some of these lines, some of these color lines, but the more vibrant color is much better. I like that significantly better. Cool. Alright, we've been streaming for 2 hours now. I'm going to check if there is anyone interesting online that I would like to raid into. If not, then we might continue on making more art. Oh, James and Mao are both streaming. Alright, I think we raid into one of them. I think that's the plan. It has been a lovely, wonderful stream. I'm gonna save this before I do anything in case I lose it. Cool. And I think we raid into those guys, one of those guys. And then I'll go and do some fucking housework or something, I guess. So thank you everybody who joined us. Thank you everybody who is watching this on the VOD. We'll be back tomorrow for sandboxy games of some sort. Whether we play Valheim or Minecraft or Raft or who the fuck knows what. Lizzie Bell is on nights. for quite a while, but we want to do a co-op Stardew Valley run. So that'll happen eventually. I don't know when. We're also going to do Borderlands stream at some point, but I've got to organize with a couple of other friends who want to do that with us. So that could be a ways off, but we'll see. That's an in the near future thing. We're going to continue on with at least 1 day worth of art streaming. I'll see about bumping it up to 2. But what it's probably going to be is like a Wednesday and then maybe occasionally a Monday stream, and we swap back and forth between the two. It'll get a little confusing, but I've got a D&D game that I'm now GMing for in person that's going to need my attention, so that potentially is going to take up my Wednesdays. But we'll see how we go. I'm going to try and avoid it conflicting with the stream. Other than that, I don't know what else I'm prepping for this year for streaming stuff. If there was anything in particular you would like to see me stream, do let me know. We have a suggestion box and about complaints and suggestions down in the About Me section there. You're welcome to DM me or PM me at any point in time. My Instagram is down there. The Discord is down there. Just come on and bug me at any point in time that you feel you need to. If you're not polite, I will not be polite in return. But if you're respectful, yeah, I'll absolutely be respectful back. And any reasonable requests I'll look into. So if there's something in particular you want to see, you really want to see me do anime stuff, if you really want to see a tutorial of some particular type of art style, or art technique, let me know, and I can try and do something like that for you. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing the random things that I do. We're going to try and do our philosophy streams at some point, because I'm super keen for those. I just need the right sort of people around, and some people in the chat, so that it's not just, me talking into the void. But if that takes too long, then eventually I might just, do them on one of these art streams, and we'll see how we go. But yeah, so that's tonight's stream. Done. Let's figure out who we're rating. I'm going to see what both Mr. Barrow and Mao are doing. Daddy Mao is doing a commission work. James is doing his community art along. You guys should check out his community art along on your own. I think it's an awesome thing on when he does it every Wednesday. It's a great thing he does with his channel. He shows off other people's art, and then he makes art with other people. It's really, really cool. Great thing. But you'd kind of benefit from being there for the whole thing, or for, just, I don't know, by yourself. I don't know why that makes a difference, but, there's a thing there. So do we raid Mao instead? Mao's been going for a while. Mao's been going for 5 hours. He'll keep going for longer. I should really stream for longer. But no, we'll raid into James, and you can see his awesome art along stuff. Yeah, I should absolutely do these streams for a little bit longer. I think in future I'm going to try and start them a little earlier, and then run for a little bit longer afterwards. That might be a thing we try and do this year. Anyway, let's jump into our raid. Anybody who is subscribed to me can do our lovely little B raids. Oh, raiding with one person. That's a little disappointing. But that's fine. Alright, so we're gonna spam him with some bees, as we always do. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Bye, guys.